Today, I'm going to show you the secret that's keeping you in the rat race. What is this secret? It's the Matrix. The system designed by the rich and powerful to keep you weak and poor. I'm Simon, and at 15 years old, I broke out of the Matrix, and shortly after, became a millionaire. It's understanding the secrets of the rich and powerful which helped me become the person I am today. I no longer have to worry about debt, bills, or work. In fact, I don't even have to work at all if I don't want to. We're all promised lives of freedom and liberty, but in reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. Many people think they're free, but they're not. They're living in this matrix. I have no tricks, no schemes, and absolutely nothing to sell you.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So now you must make a choice. After this choice, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill and the video ends. You wake up the next day, believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you continue watching this video, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes and how you can escape the matrix. The best way maybe to prove that the matrix is real. Anybody alive today can probably at least Google, read about 50 years ago when the computer system began. It began with a game called ping pong, right? Ping pong, very simple, right? And we're like, oh, that's cool. Think how far we have come in 50 years, right? So this headset here behind me, I can plug that on. I was in space yesterday, walking on the moon, and it felt real. Then I jumped into a roller coaster ride and I literally fell over because I thought I was on a roller coaster ride, right? That's how real this new stuff is, yeah? 50 years. Imagine where we're going to be in 500 years, assuming we haven't already been wiped out. If in 50 years we've gone from ping pong to a headset that makes me feel like I'm really on a roller coaster, so much so that I fall over, where are we going to be in 500 years' time? We're definitely going to recreate everything we see here, right? It's logical. 450 years. So the theory is, it's already 500 years ahead. It's already happened. And this is a petri dish experimental game. It's not that I'm someone plugged into me and they're playing me in a game. No, they've created a simulation to see what happens. Like Sims, but on autopilot. With the odd person coming in and playing the game, like Elon Musk is probably a player. We are all probably Sims, right? But that theory, in my mind, proves the Matrix is real. And so the Matrix ultimately, in a simple form, is a system designed to trap you into doing what that system needs you to do to fuel the system overlords. So we all know the school system was developed over 100 years ago by people who were pioneering the industrial age. And the general concept of the education system was, let's give people enough knowledge that they want to go on 2 holidays a year, they can afford to buy the Ford car, they can afford to buy it, but they can't afford to actually leave the Ford factory and work for themselves. We don't want that. We want people to make the cars, buy the cars, and then go on holiday and spend money driving that car, right? So the whole system was like, let's give people enough that they're not ignorant, but let's not give them enough, like, for example, financial literacy or the ability to create a business, understand branding. Let's not give them any of these skills generally in school, because we don't want them to then have aspirations to solve a problem in the world. What we want them to do is have an aspiration to have a job in the world. The people that work for the Matrix will say this. They'll say, good debt is good, bad debt is bad, right? That's as far as they want to educate people, because they know people are waking up. But what they say is, well, if you buy a property and you get debt from the bank and then you rent it out, and then you'll make money, right? The way you see it when you're outside the Matrix is that's one more monthly payment and one more pointless thing in the Matrix you have to manage to keep you occupied, right? If you own 1,000 properties and you're collecting that rent every month and you're making profit, you're wasting your life. And I see it a lot of the time. It's good until the system says, oh, so many people doing well here, let's turn up interest rates. Inflation, oh, okay, you're all fucked. And the most important point isn't even a financial point. The most important point is that when people leverage debt, bad debt is 10 times worse than good debt, but good debt is still bad. Bad debt is so awful. People buy things they don't need. We know this saying, right? They buy things they don't need to please people they don't know, and it doesn't lead to anything of any sort of real outcome, right? And that's what the matrix kind of is, if you're not careful. It is just you generating power, right? You doing stuff, being a part of this, buying the stuff that the people that own the game want you to buy, to show off to people in the game that don't even care. If you want to escape the matrix, avoid debt. But people in the matrix will say, and lots of comments on this video, people will say, oh, Simon, you can't live in today's world without a credit rating. Well, that's the problem. The system is getting more and more powerful, and you don't even realize it. You know, you don't need a credit rating if you live within your means. You don't need a credit rating if you focus on doing stuff you love, and then you won't need to buy a car to make you happy or a bigger house to make you happy. And actually what it does, it makes you work for the bank. You work for the bank when you have a mortgage. People don't like to hear it. It's the truth. You're paying the bank money every month. Definition, you're working for them. The first step to get out of the matrix is accept that you're in the matrix. And then when you start watching content, you'll see those people that are unplugged from the matrix. For example, Elon Musk. He's unplugged from the matrix. You watch his content and you can see it. Once you know, he's talking about things almost completely the opposite to how everybody else thinks about things, right?
This could be some simulation.
It could.
So the first step is awareness. The second step, and it's a tricky one, but the second step for people is to ask yourself what your true purpose is. Sit down for half an hour and think about nothing but the word purpose. And if you're not able to determine what your purpose is because, you know, the force is strong, right? The matrix is strong, it's trying to hold you in the system, then go work with someone with purpose and learn what it looks like, right? Because it's actually infectious. But the third step is only possible if you have acknowledged you're in the matrix and you have found a purpose. It can be someone else's purpose, but you can fall in love with someone else's purpose. It can also lead you to exit. Because if I'm working with Elon Musk, then I am going to also with him realize I'm in the matrix and be able to escape, right? But the finding your purpose is key. So in business, we would call this a mission, right? They have what does the business do and why does it do it? The Simon Sinek why. And that once you have that why, once you have that purpose, it becomes quite easy to start ignoring the matrix programming, because I'm now fully aware of these programs and I am fully aware of my purpose and I'm in control of the game for myself. I'm actually not in control of the whole game. The whole game is controlled by the 1% of the 1%, right? So I'm not in control of the whole game, but I'm in control of my own game. So I had an advertising agency. And before I had an advertising agency, I used to read the newspapers or read stuff, and I'd never look at the adverts, I just read the content. And those ads were brainwashing me and I didn't even know it. And then when I started an advertising agency, you start to understand how those ads work and the subliminal suggestions. And you know, like, again, you go back 50 years, it's like 9 out of 10 doctors say smoking makes you run faster. That's actually an ad, right? And you realize how things are manipulated and managed. And when you're outside the matrix and you learn how the matrix is running, you can learn to build things in the matrix that play to the matrix's strengths. So an advertising agency plays to the matrix strengths. My advertising agency did really well. I wasn't as awake as I am now when I built that agency, and I built something that helps the system perpetuate itself. So once you understand the game, then you can play it better. Some people, I think, play too much to the system. So, for example, banks that get people into debt, that's in my opinion, bad. I personally want to go the opposite way and help people for free, which so many people hate me for, I would just add, right? They're like, nah, there's always a catch. There's no value in free. All these belief systems that are not true that the Matrix wants you to believe, right? If everyone helped everyone for free, the Matrix would collapse. Then how are you going to create a hierarchy where someone at the top wins? If everyone plays Monopoly where we all can live on each other's land, we can all eat each other's food, we all provide value to the Monopoly game, my God, that's not going to make one person win, is it? That's going to create a society of equals. That's very bad for the people that want to win, that created the Matrix, right? But I think it's something people need to be aware of to make their lives better. If you got any value from this video, hit the subscribe button and feel free to ask questions in the comments. And finally, watch this next video to help you unplug from the Matrix.